Let me take you on a journey through the incredible story of Marvel, the powerhouse that has taken over the entertainment industry. It all started with a bunch of talented folks like Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko who dreamed up amazing characters and stories. Marvel Comics became a game changer, giving us flawed heroes with superpowers who reflected the complexities of being human. But Marvel's awesomeness didn't stop at the comics. They decided to conquer the big screen too, and boy did they succeed. It all kicked off with Iron Man, a movie that blew everyone's minds and paved the way for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They went on to breaking records, surprise us all, and bring our beloved superheroes to life in ways we couldn't have imagined. How did Marvel went from a groundbreaking comic producer, went almost bankrupt, was bought later on Disney for $4 billion and became the most profitable movie franchise of all time. Stick to this video to understand all about the development of the MCU and to understand how much Marvel is worth today. Marvel Comics, initially known as Timely Publications, was founded in 1939 by Martin Goodman. At that time, the comic book industry was booming and Timely Publications focused on producing a wide range of genres, including superheroes, crimes, romance, and horror. In 1961, under the guidance of writer and editor Stan Lee, Timely Publications rebranded as Marvel Comics. Lee collaborated with talented artists such as Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko to create a new line of superheroes with a more relatable and complex approach. This era marked the birth of characters that would become iconic, including the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Hulk. Marvel's characters differed from traditional superheroes in significant ways. They faced real-world problems, had human flaws, and often struggled with personal issues. These characteristics made Marvel's heroes more relatable to readers, setting them apart from their competitors. This approach, known as the Marvel Method, emphasized character-driven storytelling and gave birth to the Marvel Universe. Throughout the 60s and the 70s, Marvel experienced a surge in popularity. The company's characters resonated with readers, and Marvel became known for its innovative storytelling and vibrant artwork. During this time, Stan Lee, along with other writers and artists, continued to create new heroes and expand the Marvel Universe. However, by 1980s, Marvel faced financial challenges, and in 1986 the company was sold to the New World Entertainment. The new ownership led to a series of changes, including attempts to diversify Marvel's offerings by venturing into toys, trading cards, and even a short-lived animation studio. In the 1990s, Marvel experienced both successes and setbacks. The decade started with the speculative comic book boom, where collectors fueled an overproduction of issues, leading to a market crash. Marvel filed for bankruptcy in 1996 due to financial troubles and internal conflicts. However, they managed to rebound with strategic partnerships such as licensing their characters to film and television adaptations. By the late 90s and early 2000s, Marvel regained stability and began focusing on revitalizing its comic book line. They launched a series of successful story arcs and relaunched titles with acclaimed creative teams. In 2004, Marvel Entertainment faced financial challenges and sought a solution to secure funding for its projects and initiatives. The company found support in the form of a financial deal with Merrill Lynch, one of the world's leading investment banks at the time. The financing arrangement between Marvel and Merrill Lynch involved a structure known as a non-recourse debt facility. Non-recourse debt is a type of loan where the borrower, which is in case Marvel, is not personally liable for repayment. Instead, the loan is secured by collateral, and the lender can only seek repayment from the specified assets if the borrower defaults. Under the terms of the deal, Merrill Lynch provided Marvel with a $525 million line of credit, also known as a revolving credit facility. This credit facility allowed Marvel to borrow funds as needed, up to the agreed-upon limit, for various purposes such as film production, marketing, and general corporate expenses. To secure the loan, Marvel pledged certain valuable assets as collateral. In this case, the collateral included intellectual property rights to a considerable number of Marvel characters, including Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Hulk, and the Fantastic Four. These characters had significant potential for generating revenue through licensing deals, merchandise sales, and film adaptations. The financing arrangement with Merrill Lynch was a strategic move by Marvel to access the necessary capital to execute its plans, particularly in the realm of film production. The company intended to independently produce its own movies instead of licensing its characters to other studios, as had been the case in the past. This financing agreement with Merrill Lynch played a crucial role in supporting Marvel's creative ambitions and facilitating the development of its own cinematic universe. It laid the foundation for Marvel Studios to produce its first self-financed film, Iron Man, which was released in 2008 and marked the beginning of the immensely successful Marvel Cinematic Universe. The collaboration with Merrill Lynch provided Marvel with the financial stability and resources it needed to build its brand, expand its comic book properties into other media, and ultimately transform into the entertainment juggernaut it is today. The first film in the MCU, Iron Man, was released in 2008 and directed by Jon Favreau. It starred Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and Iron Man, a billionaire genius who builds a high-tech suit of armor to become a superhero. Iron Man was chosen as the starting point for the MCU due to its compelling story, charismatic lead actor, and potential for future expansion. The film was a critical and commercial success, receiving widespread acclaim for its witty dialogue, engaging storyline, and impressive visual effects. Robert Downey Jr.'s charismatic performance as Tony Stark was highly praised and became iconic for the character. Iron Man grossed over $585 million worldwide, signaling the beginning of a successful franchise. Strategic planning and the concept of a shared universe were key factors in the success of a unique approach of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Studios, under the guidance of producer Kevin Feige, had a clear vision to create an interconnected universe of films that would revolutionize the superhero genre. Let's delve into the details of the strategic planning and shared universe concept in the MCU. The concept of a shared universe in the MCU draws inspiration from the nature of comic books. In comic books, characters from different series often interact and have interconnected stories. Marvel Studios sought to replicate this concept in the film medium, allowing characters to cross paths and have their stories influence each other. To establish a shared universe, Marvel Studios emphasizes the importance of continuity. They aimed to create a seamless narrative where events and characters' developments from one film would carry over and impact subsequent films. This attention to detail helped create a cohesive and immersive experience for audiences. Marvel Studios adopted a long-term planning approach. With a roadmap spanning multiple phases, this allowed them to carefully craft overarching storylines and character arcs that unfolded over several films. The studio would often plant seeds and foreshadow future events or characters in other movies, building anticipation and rewarding attentive viewers. One of the signature elements of the MCU is the inclusion of post-credit scenes and teasers. These scenes, often placed after the main film, served as glimpses into future installments or connected moments within the shared universe. They generated excitement and speculation among fans, further fueling the anticipation of our upcoming events. Marvel Studios fostered collaboration with directors and creative teams while maintaining an overall vision for the shared universe. Filmmakers were encouraged to bring their unique perspectives and styles to their respective films, ensuring that each entry had its own distinct flavor. However, they also worked closely with Feige and the studio to ensure consistency and adherence to the larger narrative. Marvel Studios strategically planned crossover events that brought multiple characters together for epic collaborations. The Avengers in 2012 was a groundbreaking example of this, as it united several superheroes in a single film. These events generated immense excitement and showcased the potential of an interconnected universe. As the MCU evolved, Marvel characters expanded the universe beyond the core group of heroes. They introduced new characters, explored different genres within the superhero framework, and tackled diverse themes. This expansion helped keep the franchise fresh and allowed for exploration of lesser-known characters who could later become integral for the larger narrative. The strategic planning and shared universe concept of the MCU have been instrumental in creating an unparalleled cinematic experiences by meticulously crafting a cohesive narrative, planting seeds for future stories, and fostering collaboration with filmmakers. Marvel Studios has successfully woven a vast and interconnected tapestry of superhero films and TV shows that has captivated and set a new standard for the genre. Marvel began expanding the Marvel Cinematic Universe, By releasing a series of interconnected films that introduced new characters and storylines, this approach allowed for a cohesive narrative and a sense of continuity. Here are some key developments during this phase of universe building. The Incredible Hulk in 2008, directed by Louis Leterrier, the film starred Edward Norton as Bruce Wayne and served as a loose reboot for the Hulk character from Ang Lee's film in 2003. It laid the groundwork for Hulk's presence in the MCU. Iron Man 2, directed by Jon Favreau again, the sequel further explores Tony Stark's character and introduced new elements such as Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, which is Black Widow. The film also hinted the existence of S.H.I.E.L.D., an organization that plays a crucial role in the MCU. Thor in 2011, directed by Kenneth Branagh, this film brought the God of Thunder to the big screen and introduced the realm of Asgard. It expanded the cosmic aspects of the MCU and set the stage for the cosmic adventures. And Captain America: The First Avenger 2011 again, directed by Joel Johnston. This film depicted the origin of Steve Rogers, the Captain America, a super soldier from World War II, introduced the concept of the super soldier serum and the Tesseract and an Infinity Stone that would become significant in later films. Disney's acquisition of Marvel Entertainment took place in 2009 and marked a significant milestone in the entertainment industry, and here are some details of this acquisition. On August 31 of 2009, Walt Disney announced its plans to acquire Marvel Entertainment for approximately $4 billion. The acquisition included Marvel's characters, publishing and licensing operations, as well as their movie production division. Marvel Studios, the news surprised many in the industry and generated significant media attention. And their motivation to purchase Marvel was in some key factors. First of all, the expansion of their intellectual property, which, if you think about it, Marvel's vast catalog of characters provided Disney with a new set of IPs to leverage across its various business segments, including movies, television, merchandise, theme parks, and consumer products. We had synergies with existing properties, with Disney already had a successful track record of turning its own IPs into successful franchises. Marvel's characters will complement Disney's existing portfolio of beloved characters and expand their appeal to a broader audience. Marvel Studios has started producing highly successful films as well, such as the Iron Man series and the Incredible Hulk, which demonstrated the potential for ongoing profitability, and Disney recognized the value of Marvel's extensive comic book publishing operations and saw an opportunity to tap into the dedicated fan base and expand their reach in this market. Under the terms of the agreement, Marvel shareholders received $30 per share in cash plus approximately 0.745 Disney shares for each Marvel share they owned. After the acquisition, following the acquisition, Marvel continued to operate as an independent entity within Disney. Marvel Studios, led by Kevin Feige, remained responsible for producing. Overall, the acquisition allowed Disney to tap into the growing popularity of superhero franchises, diversify its content offering, and further cement its position as a dominant player in the entertainment industry. The Avengers of 2012 marked a significant milestone in the MCU, bringing together some of Marvel's most iconic superheroes in a team of extravaganza. Directed by Joss Whedon, the film was a combination of the Phase 1 films and a testament to the shared universe approach. Here's a closer look at the significance of the Avengers. For those who haven't seen at the time or don't remember, the film united Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, who had all been introduced in previous films. It showcases their individual strengths, conflicts, and eventual cooperation as a team, laying the groundwork for future team-ups. Loki as the main antagonist, the Avengers, and a fan-favorite villain, Loki's quest for power and the alien army he unleashed on Earth tested the heroes' abilities and forced them to work together to save the world. The Avengers delivered exhilarating action sequences showcasing the heroes' unique powers and abilities. The film also explored the dynamics and conflicts among the team members, adding depth to their characters and setting the stage for future character development. The Avengers was a massive commercial success, surpassing expectations and becoming one of the highest grossing films of all time at its release. Its success solidified the viability of a shared universe and paved the way for further expansion of the MCU. The Avengers not only served as an immensely entertainment superhero spectacle, but also proved that the ambitious idea of an interconnected universe could captivate audiences on a global scale. It laid the foundation for future team-up films, demonstrating the potential for larger scale storytelling and the ability to bring together beloved characters from different franchises within the MCU. Phase 2 of the MCU built up the foundation laid in Phase 1. it delved deeper into the individual character arcs, expanded the cosmic and mythical aspects of the universe, and introduced new heroes and villains. Films like Iron Man 3, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy explored the consequences of the Avengers' actions and set the stage for future conflicts. Phase 2 also began to lay the groundwork for the Infinity Saga, a multi-film arc that would culminate in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. While the MCU initially focused on films, Marvel Studios expanded its storytelling into the realm of television. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the first TV series set in the MCU and followed the adventures of the Marvel spy agent. It ran from 2013 to 2020 and explored the aftermath of the Avengers while introducing new characters and storylines. Agent Carter, another TV series centered around Peggy Carter, a character from Captain America films, and further expanded universe history. Although these early TV shows had limited direct impact on the films, they provided additional context for fans and expanded the MCU's scope beyond the big screen. Phase 3 marked a significant turning point for the MCU. It introduced a fresh lineup of films that further pushed the boundaries of storytelling and brought the Infinity Saga to its epic conclusion. Films like Black Panther, which celebrated African culture and became a cultural phenomenon, and Captain Marvel, which introduced the first female lead superhero film in the MCU, showcased the studio's commitment to diverse and inclusive storytelling. The culminating of Phase 3 in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame shattered box office records and emotionally resonated with audiences worldwide. Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were monumental films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, providing fans with a culmination of storytelling and an emotional rollercoaster. Here are some highlights of the experiences fans had with these films. Leading up to the release of Avengers Infinity War, fans were buzzing with excitement and anticipation. The film promised an unprecedented gathering of superheroes and the ultimate showdown with the powerful villain Thanos. The trailers and marketing materials added to the hype, leaving fans eagerly waiting for film's arrival. Infinity War delivered an intense and unexpected narrative. The film showcases the power and brutality of Thanos as he acquired the Infinity Stones and carried out his plan to wipe out half of the life in the universe. Devastating consequences, including the deaths of beloved characters such as Spider-Man, Black Panther, and many more, left audiences in shock and disbelief. The emotional impact was profound, with fans expressing a range of emotion from sorrow to anger. The ending left fans on the edge of their seats. Thanos succeeded in his mission and many heroes turned to dust, disintegrating into nothingness. This cliffhanger left viewers desperate for answers and eagerly anticipating the resolution in the next film. The gap between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame was a year-long period filled with speculation, theories, anticipation. Fans engaged in countless discussions, dissecting the events of the previous film and speculating about how the story would conclude. This extended wait only intensified the eagerness and excitement surrounding Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame delivered on the monumental expectations set by its predecessor. The film provided a satisfying conclusion to the Infinity Saga, wrapping up story arcs and character journeys that had been developed over the course of the MCU's first 3 phases. The film was packed with thrilling action sequences, emotional moments, and callbacks to previous films, creating a true cinematic event. One of the remarkable aspects of the release of both Avengers Infinity War and Endgame was the shared experience among fans. The films generated massive audiences, and theaters were filled with enthusiastic viewers. Moments like Captain America wielding Mjolnir, Iron Man's sacrificial act, and the portal scene in Endgame elicited thunderous applause, cheers, and even tears from the audience. The collective energy and emotional reactions created an unforgettable atmosphere in theaters around the world. Infinity War and Endgame shattered box office records. Infinity War became the highest grossing superhero film at that time, while Endgame surpassed it, becoming the highest grossing film of all time. This immense success further highlighted the impact and significance of these films. Overall, these experiences that fans had with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame were filled with excitement, shock, anticipation, and emotional connection. These films provided a shared cultural phenomenon that brought fans together and solidified the MCU's place in cinematic history. Post Phase 3, the MCU continued to evolve with new storylines and characters, embracing the Disney Plus streaming platform to explore more intimate and character-driven narratives through series like WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and Hawkeye. These topics highlight the strategic planning and universe building, team-ups, expansion, and evolution of the MCU, which have all contributed to its massive success and cultural impact. The MCU continues to evolve and expand beyond Phase 3, with films and TV shows in development that explore new storylines and introduce new characters. The franchise has become a global phenomenon with an intricate web of interconnected stories that captivate audience worldwide. Later on, I will make a video talking about why Phase 4 was a failure compared to the other ones, and also explain the tremendous hype around Spider-Man No Way Home. But as I said in the beginning, how much is Marvel worth it today? If somebody was going to buy it from Disney nowadays, the numbers would differ. But to buy most of our intellectual properties, rights of their 32 films and 8 TV shows and more to come, according to Forbes, you probably would have to spend around $50 billion and probably even more. In summary, the MCU started with Marvel Studios taking creative control over its characters and strategically planning an interconnected universe of films. With the release of Iron Man in 2008 and subsequent movies, Marvel Studios built a shared continuity that culminated in the success of the Avengers. The franchise expanded with multiple phases, television shows, and the recent focus on streaming series. The MCU's success is a result of meticulous planning, strong storytelling, and the dedication of countless filmmakers, actors, and crew members involved in bringing the superhero stories to life. Overall, Marvel Studios' formation, securing financing, the success of Iron Man, and the strategic planning for a shared universe were pivotal in establishing the MCU as a groundbreaking and interconnected franchise that revolutionized superhero films. So that's it. I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking it to the end. I'll definitely see you guys on the next video and the next docu-series. Please tell me which docu-series you want to see. I am already producing more to bring you guys to this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye and peace.